Let's meet our next two warriors.
Hi, my name's LJ and I'm 29 and I fight out of Olympians MMA Bristol.
My name's Kerry Hughes, I'm 28 years old and I'm fighting out of BKK Fighters in Colchester.
I've been training for this fight just like any other fight, specifically focusing on my game plan and what I want to put into action tonight in the cage.
I've been training really hard for this fight ever since it was announced, 7 days a week. As I say, I'm training at BKK Fighters, so I'm with some of the best in the country. I've also been making frequent forays up into Cambridge to train with the guys at Tsunami as well, so I feel really well prepared for this.
Hi Kerry, I hope you've been training hard for this fight and I hope you're ready for it because I'm going to come hard at you.
LJ Adams, there's been talk of us meeting in the cage for quite some time. Tonight's the night. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's put on a fantastic show and see if the girls can take that fight tonight.
And right up now we have a women's MMA bout at 63.5 kilograms. LJ Adams versus Kerry Hughes.
Introducing your first fighter, fighting out of the red corner. This woman is a mixed martial artist making her MMA debut. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. She weighed at 63.2 kilograms. Fighting out of BKK Fighters, make some noise for Kerry Hughes. And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. This woman is a mixed martial artist with a record of 1 win, 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. She weighed in at 63.5 kilograms. Fighting out of Olympians MMA, here is LJ Adams. And when the action begins, the man in charge is Dan Movahedi.
It should be a pretty good fight, Neil.
Yeah, with girls it's quite surprising actually. You think of them as the fairer sex, but in MMA there's no such thing. These girls are out there to hurt each other and win their fights.
LJ Adams looks like she's immediately coming out, establishing a range with the strikes.
Definitely the taller and almost looks like the bigger fighter of the two, and you know, using her range and imposing her will as well.
Hughes though is she's not being shy. She's getting in there and making it messy. Looks like a tough little fighter.
It's a great way of finding out whether you're built for this or not. You know, with your debut fight, you come out and you get hit, and you either like it or you don't.
The story of this fight so far is definitely that jab by Adams. She's reaching out with it perfectly. Nice right there. I'd like to see her throw some more leg kicks as well.
Kerry Hughes has been throwing a couple of leg kicks there. Obviously same sort of length in legs there, if you want to put it that way. As soon as LJ Adams comes for the attack, she counters.
It'd be a good tool for Adams to use in this fight. Those long legs. Throw some strikes to the ribs and the head. Make Hughes tentative on closing that distance. Good jab again. Nice counter jab straight down the middle. Both fighters.
I love it when that happens. Can let the fight breathe and then we both want to jump in. Nice overhand right there by Kerry Hughes. She's doing really well, you know, for a debut fight. Moving back, but countering nicely.
The energy here tonight has been fantastic, as you've just seen. It's had me on the edge of my seat, because all these fights have been perfectly well matched. Hughes now seems to be finding a little bit more room in this fight. She's almost boxed her way back into this.
Yeah, her punches have been crisp, and as you can see, there's a little bit of blood coming there from LJ Adams' nose right now, so those punches are definitely going through the guard. And sometimes it's the best way, you know, straight through the middle. Straight through the middle.
That red liquid is acting like a green light to Hughes there.
You must be careful that LJ Adams got that big long range, and every now and then you see Kerry Hughes' head twisted backwards with those jabs.
Hughes is almost walking her down now. This fight's tempo is changed.
Yeah, no. LJ Adams being the one who was in the attack most of the time. In the beginning stages of the fight now seems to find herself walking back. Trying for that takedown attempt.
Usually means a fighter who wants to change the tempo to get in the head of the other fighter, or they are not doing as well in the stand-up as they would like to. A lot of blood there dripping from LJ Adams, having come out of the first round. That first bit of blood always has a different effect on different fighters. Forrest Griffin has been quoted quite famously as saying he never feels like he's in a fight until he hits that, or gets hit that first time, and then he starts to wake up and get in there, find his rhythm.
Hey, you know what? That goes for 90% of all fighters. Once you get hit, you're woken up. It sort of says, "This is it. Let's go. This is a fight. This is a real fight." It happened in my debut as well. I stood there. I was scared, and Anthony O'Corey threw the first jab on my head, straight in my face, and I thought to myself, that wasn't too bad. Let's do this. As you can see, LJ Adams bleeding again from the nose. It's going to stop her from breathing properly. She's going to have to breathe through her mouth. And when your jaw is nice and loose and relaxed, those knockouts come out. Those knockouts are there to be taken.
Oddly enough, when you have those large cloud sprouts from the nose, typically you want to avoid actually breathing or blowing them out, clearing it, because if you've broken the nose, that blood clot is actually going to form, and it's going to close your eyes in at that point. So you want to just let it bleed through. You can see the blood all over Hughes' face there.
And I must be honest, these girls are doing extremely well. There's so much blood right now, and people who's watching this for the first time, seeing girls punch and hit each other. These girls have been training really, really hard for this. They do boxing, they do kickboxing, they do Muay Thai, they do jiu-jitsu, they do wrestling. It's all MMA, mixed martial arts. So there's no scrap fight here. There's no scratching. There's no biting. There's no eye gorging or anything like that. It's pretty much what you see in the Olympics. We had girls boxing in the Olympics this year. There's wrestling. There's judo, there's all sorts. So I think the only thing that might put the viewer off is the little bit of blood. And if anything, it should have put these girls off, but they are happy to carry on.
I love the technique these ladies show when they fight as well, because they're a different frame. They move differently, they operate differently to a male's frame. So you tend to see a lot of techniques you don't usually see in the guy fights.
Yeah, it's another thing I like to talk about, especially with martial arts, traditional martial arts. When you're in a dojo with girls, it's a safe environment, and obviously you look after each other and you don't try and hurt each other. And it's their technique. Their technique is always so much better than the guys, because they rely on that. They don't rely on their strength. It's all about technique. And right now, Kerry Hughes is finding herself in some deep waters with LJ. The hooks in on top.
Adams now. She run the takedown. She's got one hook in, back control. Good position, throwing strikes there. She's not being greedy. She's not just diving for the choke.
And both these girls are going to be extremely slippery right now. It's they might have tops on, but with the blood and the sweat, it makes you very sticky.
And that's the end of round 2, folks. Neil, who'd you give that round to?
In the beginning round of that, the beginning stages of that fight, I thought Kerry Hughes was just straight back into what she did best in the first round, but to me, LJ Adams swayed me in the last couple of seconds of that fight. It's being mixed martial arts. I think some of these judges seem to look for an all-round fighter. And I think takedowns do count, and its ground control does count, cage control. And right now you can see both of these girls pushing the pace, feeling that the fight's pretty even, and whoever wins this round will win the fight.
Hughes is putting that pressure on now. I like how she's found her range. She's a shorter fighter, but she really has boxed her way into this fight.
She's taken a lot of hits to the face as well. Not as damaging as hers have been, but she is taking a lot of punches to the face.
Adams now shooting that double again. She's got both hands connected. Is she going to peel off the fence? That's what's coming next. Hughes looking to block the face.
She's doing really well there. Almost looked like a bit of an eye gouge, but she's let go.
Turning the hips. It's nearly there. It just takes one move from either fighter to either finish this takedown attempt. Oh, Adams ditches out. That goes into a high crotch. Trying to come around the back of Hughes. Hughes peels her up. Nice defense there. She used the fence well.
Excellent use of the fence there. And the fence makes it safe. You know, a lot of people say we fight in a cage and it's almost like a dog fight, but it's not really. If it was a ring, both these girls would have been falling through it, and you know, on top of whoever's sitting on the side, right in front of a judge.
I used to have that problem quite a lot back in the old Pride days, especially in the Brazilian Vale Tudo days as well.
You can see Jack Mason giving Kerry Hughes advice there. This is what you need to do, and she's listening. As you can see, she's protecting herself from that takedown. Nice defense.
She's got that whizzer in. It's not a deep whizzer. Just using it to put pressure on the shoulder. Good job.
And LJ Adams bleeding, but pushing the pace in this fight. You know, she's not done much damage, but she's definitely pushing the pace in this fight.
Good
in the last round.
There. Good movements by Hughes. Nice slip there. I like that turn.
Much better footwork here by Kerry Hughes as well. She needs to start letting go with those hands of hers. She's got a really good strike.
Now at this point, they had a stalemate against the fence with Hughes defending the takedowns. So it's gonna, whoever really peels ahead in the race of strikes is gonna steal this round, I think.
And to me, it's Kerry Hughes is throwing some really nice jab cross combinations over there.
She seems a little more settled in her strikes, a little more settled in her boxing.
You can see LJ Adams trying to knee her opponent, but none of them really even touching Kerry Hughes.
Nice little knee to the outside thigh there.
Great fight for both girls. They can both keep their hands up high for this one.
That was a good tough fight there.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge number 1 scores this bout 30-27. Judge number 2, 29-28. And judge number 3, 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of BKK Fighters, Kerry Hughes. And your runner-up, LJ Adams.
What an amazing bout, and what an incredible debut from Kerry Hughes. Silvio Simac caught up with the fighter backstage.
Well, congratulations on your fight. What do you have to say?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a fantastic fight. LJ's an experienced opponent. I felt it went, you know, according to our game plan, it very much went my way. So, yeah, really, really happy with that as a professional debut.
Well, Global Proving Grounds are aiming to act as a platform to help athletes like yourself to showcase their fighting skills. That's why we've come up with this TV show, reality TV show called Warrior Island, where 16 contenders will descend on an island, and each week they will be voted off the island depending on how many challenges and fights they're fulfilled. Do you think this is good for athletes like yourself and may help further the sport itself?
I think that anything that raises the profile of MMA in a professional manner and showcases the athletes for their talent rather than something sensationalised is fantastic. I think as long as it's something that remains true to the ethos of mixed martial arts as a professional up-and-coming sport, then it sounds like a really good idea to enhance the profile.
On that note, what you said about ethos of MMA, one of the things that with GPG we're trying to encourage and promote more of is to bring back the traditional values and concepts of martial arts, of discipline and honour and respect. Do you think it's important within mixed martial arts?
Certainly, yes. I mean, I come from a Muay Thai background, and obviously respect and tradition is something that features very strongly in that. I'm a great believer in respecting your opponents. You know, I'm not a fan of trash talk or big showmanship. So I think anything that strips away that sort of behaviour and brings it right back to the ethos of more traditional martial arts is something to be encouraged.
Now, if you were to get voted to train on Warrior Island and compete, you would train with some of the greatest masters in the world. Like Renzo, Gracie and some of the other great masters. How would you feel about that?
Well, obviously in theory it'd be a fantastic opportunity to, I mean, training with people like that is always going to be something to aspire to. I'm very lucky in the training partners I currently have, and in theory I think it'd be a fantastic opportunity.
I have a challenge for you. Look towards the camera and tell the fans why they should vote for you. What would you bring that's unique to the show itself?
I think I always bring an exciting fight, and I don't think, if you look at any of my fights, I've never taken an easy opponent, I've never taken an easy way out. I'm always happy to stand and trade. I'm equally happy to go down to the floor. I'd like to hope that you'd find a well-rounded martial artist who's looking to improve.
What an amazing night of fight, folks. You've been here with us at UCMMA 35 in association with Global Proving Ground. Neil, it's been fantastic here at the Troxy.
Yeah, it's been an amazing night of fights, some great decisions, some great finishes, and an all-round victory for MMA.
From myself, Simon Norman, Mr. Neil Grove, the Power Up production crew, and UCMMA in association with Global Proving Ground, we thank you for joining us, folks.